Hey everyone, Wayne Berger again with a little TradingView tip. So one of the things I'm seeing in the group a lot is how to take a shape from the web scanner, the harmonic scanner, and copy that into your TradingView charts. The web scanner is great, although it is a little bit funky sometimes. It can, obviously the scans can disappear, and as well as just drawing shapes and things on the charts. It's not quite as full featured as the regular TradingView site. Things can kind of move around on you a little bit. So it's best to get those copied over into the full TradingView so you always have those available. So it's pretty simple. There's a couple of things though you want to be aware of. So right now I have the web scanner up. You can see on this side we've got NZD JPY 15, and there's a little butterfly pattern, and there's a couple of things going on here. So first thing to do is kind of zoom in, just try and get as much of that on the single screen as you can. Right, just make it a little bit easier to see the points. So the first thing to take notice before you start kind of trying to pick these out, and obviously if it's a recent scan, you can it's pretty easy to find these, but one thing that's important is to notice, if you've never noticed this time zone down here, by default when you log into the web scanner, it usually defaults to UTC. You may have saved a your own time zone or something like that, but it's critical. It actually makes it really super easier to just to make sure that both TradingView and the web scanner are on the same time zone. I know that Steve likes to do everything kind of in New York time, even though that's not his own time zone. But so that tends to be what I do. So UTC -4 is New York. So when I pick that, and then if I'm over in TradingView, same thing. You can see I'm already on New York right here. So really, ultimately, it doesn't matter exactly what you have, just as long as they're the same between the two. So then what you can do is when you see I'm moving my crosshatch here over the web scanner, and I put it over the X. And so I want to find that first point. And you can see at the bottom down here, it says 9:18 and approximately 14:30. So 2:30 in the afternoon is that low point. And that is on the 18th. So it's back a ways. So if I go back over to TradingView, I got to go way back here and zoom out. I got to go back, 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 back. Okay, so here's the 18th. Okay, and then I want to zoom in here a little bit. Oops, too far. And then we're going to find the similar thing. So again, that was about 14:30. 14:30. Okay, so I see it's this kind of low point right here. So let me just zoom in to that point right there. 18:30. Pick whichever one is the lowest. It looks like these are 8.2 and 8.23. Okay. So then once I have that, what I want to do is just actually zoom out and see if I can see that shape right there. So I see the spike up, right? So I see this move right here to the A. This is the B. Here's the C. And then let's see, the D goes all the way down here to 9:26 at 6 a.m. So I got to go just a little bit farther. Okay. So what I try and do is just get it all in one view so I can sort of visualize what it is. So don't try and bother, memorizing each of these 5 time frames, but if you can kind of visualize that. So then what I do, I make sure my magnet tool is on right here, magnet mode, and then I choose the XABCD pattern. So when I pick that, I'm just going to go right here. It's like the first point. So I got X, A, B, C, and then D down here. Now, there's 5 points, and you could come and you kind of check each one. Once you start drawing this, though, you can't really interrupt it or go back. So even if you're not quite sure, just go ahead and put the point on what you think is right, and then you can verify it. So, and the best way to do that, obviously, is just kind of zoom in on each one. Oops. So you zoom in here. You see that's connected right to the end of that one. I can scroll over. That's right to this peak right there. You can kind of see that's to the lowest point there, highest point there, and that same down here. So, and you can go through and, like I said, with this little timing that's here at the bottom, you can verify that each of those points line up. One thing that I would just note as well is that your data feeds may be different. You might notice, so the web scanner is on JAFX feed. I actually, Oanda is my broker, so I tend to use the Oanda feed. So every once in a while, these points can be slightly different in terms of their price, or maybe one candle over, left, or right, just because of very slight differences. Typically, it won't make a big difference, but just something to be aware of if you do have a different broker feed. So I also find too, when I'm just kind of doing this visually, a lot of times you can see it. Just look for these telltale candles. You can often see, here's a big green one, and obviously that aligns to this one right here, so you're kind of in the same shape. So hopefully that helps. And then once you've got that on there, obviously you can draw whatever items you need to. So happy trading. See you soon.